All right. Good morning, crocheters. It's been 5 weeks since we've done this. And yesterday, thinking about it, I was actually a little bit nervous because it's just been quite a while. So I'm back. Hello, Rachel. How are you? Good to see. Good, I guess. Good to see you in the chat. Can't physically see you, but yep. So if you're here, jump in, say hi. And we'll start into the vlog a little bit and talk about some other things that I'm thinking about changing, updating, going forward, etc. Good morning, Ellie. Thank you for jumping in and saying hi. All right, we're just gonna get going here. So while I was on my crochet break these last 5 weeks, the reason why I took a break is I was feeling a little bit burnt out. Good morning, Rupa and Christy and Gillian. Good morning, everyone. So I took a break because I was just feeling burnt out. All of the crochet things I'd been trying to do were just like not really working, and I was getting frustrated. So I decided to go on a break, and so I didn't hardly do any crocheting, obviously, during the break, but I did a couple of other kind of like creative sorts of things. Most of them I don't have like to show, but one of them I do. My parents have had these old wine barrel or maybe whiskey barrel like planter beds, or yeah, like planters. It was sawn in half and had been used for planter, and they'd rotted through. So I took one of the rims and I bought a whole bunch of flowers from Joann's, and I made a massive wreath for the front door, which is super fun. That was one of the creative things I did. It was a blast. I have still some leftover flowers, so like I kind of messed around with them a little bit, but I'm mostly proud of that. This barrel ring, I'll hold it this way. This is the smallest size that they have. And like the rest of the rings were bigger. And I was like, wow, that there's no way I can use some of these huger rings, but it was it's so tempting. Like in my mind, I'm like, this would be so fun to play with the rest of these metal rings and make beautiful stuff. Sounds kind of fun. Oh, thanks. You guys are chiming in saying you like it. Thank you. Awesome. So that was one of the things I did. I mentioned before I went off that I was going to do some like watercolors. And I did get some watercolors, and I've done a little bit of like, I'm really not good. So that's, I'm just not very good, but it was fun, it's just fun to like let my creativity just kind of play around with that. So that was fun. Good morning, Jackie and Joanne. And I'm going to guess Caddy is here. Good morning, everyone. Rupa says, my octopus I made is so much like yours. I made one for myself a while ago, but did not like any I saw, but yours looks just like mine. Well, that's pretty cool. Rupa, did you use Bernat blanket yarn? Yeah, I'm just curious about that. Good morning, Erica and Charlotte and Adele. Yes, it is Caddy. Hi, Caddy. Good morning to everyone. So as I was saying, like the wreath was one of the things I did. Like I painted the ceiling in my closet because it had never been finished. Like I did a lot of work in the garden with my husband, which I think is fun. I enjoy gardening. Good morning, Tanya. I hope you're well. Rupa says she made a small octopus. Very nice. Awesome. yeah, so just kind of a lot of this and that. We went camping, caught colds. That was fun. Actually, still have a little bit of a runny nose, but we're gonna be fine. With all the other things going on in the world, it's like, if I've got a cold, we're just gonna be fine. Pretty much had perfect health the entire time I was off. And yeah, and then I started catching a little bit of a cold. I'm like, well, that's frustrating. Right as I'm about to go into a live chat. Anyway, life goes on. Good morning, Rebecca and Ellie and Rita. Awesome. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thanks for hopping on here. It's really exciting to be back again and to see you guys in the chat, familiar names, and get to say hi. People that I've gotten to know even better, like through emails and stuff like that. So really cool. One of the things I did work on just a little bit, excuse me. Hello, Jay baby. With crocheting, was the Heidi Bears pattern, the Lolo bear that I was making, which I put off for kind of a while, and I didn't make very much progress, but I made a little bit. So this is what it looks like right now. So for those who don't know what on earth this is, I'll give you a quick explanation. So Heidi Bears is a pattern designer, and she does all of her patterns with like hexagons, pentagons. Like obviously there's a square here for the nose, but they're mostly hexagons and pentagons to kind of like make the shape of the animals. And she does flower motifs, but she doesn't do them 3D. And she uses really fine yarn. And so I don't like using fine yarn or small hooks because it's just me. And so I decided like I would go ahead and give it a try using Bernat blanket yarn. So I had to modify the pattern. If I hadn't, this thing would be like the head would be enormous. So it's heavily modified. But it's using the same like principles and the same joining techniques and everything. And so so that's this. And so I learned once I made the head, like why Heidi Bears does not do 3D flowers. Like they look really cool, but then you're like, oh my gosh, these are supposed to be eyes, and it looks like these look like jowls almost, or like some sort of like gas mask something, and like just like got these little like puff balls. I don't think it's anyway. Yeah, that's my consensus. But so I ended up making soft eyes and sewing them on and putting fiberfill behind, like trying to make them 3D here. That way it didn't look like the eyes were like sunken in, because they were like hidden by the rest of the flower. So that's all the progress I've made. I mean, I made the body first, so that's done. And I made that like at the beginning of the year, maybe end of last year. I can't even remember. And so I really just have like arms and legs left to do, and I just haven't done it. So it will happen at some point. Christy's Creation says, I was just thinking about that. Yep, so here it is. Oh, you guys are liking it. I'm glad. Christy asked it, am I writing it up? I'm not, because it is like it's really Heidi's pattern, and I don't want to get into any sort of like infringement, thing with that. Like I would be comfortable with like sharing like my modified or like kind of the rules I use to modify the hexagons and the pentagons, because then you'd still need to buy her pattern to understand like how to put it all together and those sorts of things. Like I'd be comfortable with sharing that, but I'm not going to write up the pattern because it really is hers. I'd say as far as intellectual property goes, this is Heidi's. So that is my thought on that. Rupa says she can't wait for the Christmas in July. Yes, that is coming up quick. That's something we're going to talk about here soon. Let's see. Sorry, I'm reading. Tyne says, while watching this right now, I'm crocheting an alpaca using the loop stitch. Nice. She asked, can I send you pictures on Instagram if you'd like to see the progress? Yes, I would love to see that. Yeah, go ahead and send pictures to me on Instagram. You can do that through DM. I've not been very good about being on Instagram or Facebook the last little bit, but I'm going to try and do better. Slowly but surely, right? All right, so let's talk about Christmas in July really quick. So July 1st is coming up quick, 3 days, right? Something like that. Yep, 1, 2, 3 days. So Wednesday is July 1st. And so that's when the first video is coming out. And that will be the materials video and / some thoughts. If you guys want to, actually let me pull it up and share a link with you guys right here. If you guys want to get even more prepared for the crochet along, starting now versus starting in 3 days, you can find the materials list here. So I just dropped a link in the chat. So if you guys need to reference that to get materials, you can find it there. All right. Yes, so that is a thing. Let's see where we're going. All right, thank you, Jackie, for liking the bear. Angela says, when are you going to make the octopus pattern? Can't wait to make it. So the octopus is right there behind me. I actually put it there because I was like, I'm so happy with it. I want to, now that I've shown you guys can see it, but now I'm like completely blocking it the entire time. I guess I could scoot over and like sit over here so you guys can see the octopus. Anyway. Yes, so the octopus. So here is a bit of a monologue. I'm going to talk a lot for a little bit and not read the comments just for this bit. So one of the thoughts that I had while on this break was that I need to restructure kind of how I do some things here on YouTube. I was getting feedback from you guys on the vlogs that you really liked, that they were shorter, they were more concise. I just talked about the project, and I've heard that it's a little bit harder for people to, to come back and watch an entire live chat, which can sometimes be an hour long versus like a 15-minute vlog. And so I've decided, like, I think what I want to try, and everything's just trying, right, going forward, is doing one live vlog like this, a live chat with you guys, the first Saturday of every month, and then the rest of the month doing the pre-recorded vlogs, things that I've been working on during the week, etc. That way they're shorter and easier for people to consume. So it's not quite so daunting as saying like, oh my gosh, if I want to know what Valerie's been up to, I have to watch an entire hour's worth of live chat. Or like the live is fun when it's like you guys here in the chat talking and me, and we're, kind of going back and forth and it's a conversation. For the people who are watching afterward, they're not really a part of the conversation, and so it's maybe a little less engaging for them. So that's something that an adjustment I want to make. I love doing the lives because it's so fun to like chat with you guys here. So I definitely want to keep that as something that I do, but I'm thinking I'm going to do that once a month. First Saturday of every month, we'll do a live, and then, the next 3, it's usually going to be 3 weeks in a month. We're going to do, just a shorter pre-recorded vlog that will come out 10 o'clock Saturdays, try and keep things like that, if that makes sense. Yeah, kind of keep things all the same. The second thing I've been thinking about, and this is something I'm going to test out. We'll try, see if it works or if it doesn't. And yeah, just kind of evaluate as I go. Up until now, other than like the secret patterns, I've shown everything, like everything I do is real time. I talk to you guys about what I'm working on, the struggles I'm having, and so, like sometimes projects, you'll see them for a while and you won't see them for a long time, because I was really struggling with that one, and like that one will be on the back burner while I work through a lot of others, then I'll figure it out, that sort of a thing. And something that I've noticed is that usually the way I have things set up right now, I've got usually about a month worth of designing a pattern, then a month where it gets tested, and then the next month it's released. And so during the designing phase, I'm sharing it with you guys here. We're talking about it. I'm getting feedback from you guys, feeling the excitement, the hype and everything. And it's like the interest in the pattern, the excitement is growing, growing, growing. And then it's finished and it's like at this peak. And like, we're so excited for this pattern. And then it drops because it has to go out to testers. And we don't even like talk about it for a whole month while I work on a different pattern. And so like excitement for that pattern grows. And then the pattern from the month before comes out. And, so like it feels like we're getting all this momentum. And then I have to say, I'm sorry, guys, this pattern is not going to be available for another month because I've got to get it tested. And then it'll be available. It's like it feels like there's a disconnect from, between watching the pattern be designed and being able to get the pattern. And so the thing I want to try out is doing, is like doing a month of content essentially ahead of time. So not releasing the videos to YouTube until the pattern is actually, like, it's the month of the pattern being tested. So here on YouTube, you guys would watch it and see the pattern being designed while it's actually being tested. And then at the end of that month, we'd see the final design, all of the excitement is at its peak. Then the very next, like the beginning of the next month is when the pattern would come out. So we would not have that disconnect between, watching the pattern being designed and the pattern being available. It would just kind of flow one into the other. So that is what I'm thinking. That's something I want to give a try. So that would just kind of change things up here on YouTube just slightly. And what, the only thing that I see being maybe hard while doing that is that I do enjoy getting feedback from you guys. And so what I've decided in this, trial of, doing this, seeing if it works, is that I will post the videos to Patreon members in real time. So I can get the feedback from them and then incorporate that into my design if needed. And then, so I'll still get that like real-time feedback, but at the same time, the majority of people who are watching on YouTube are going to see it technically a month later, but it'll have like that better flow. You'll watch the design process from beginning to end, then the pattern will come out instead of having a lull where we switch topics, if that makes sense. So that is my thought. And all of that talking, there was plenty of stuff going on over here and I didn't even look at it. So let me scroll back up a little bit and chat with you guys. So Rachel asks, when are you releasing the penguin? Probably in August. Okay, yes. So that's a good point, Rachel. Let me talk about that for a quick second. So the baby penguin pattern was a pattern I finished a little bit ago, right before I went on my crochet break. I finished this pattern. It has been tested, and it was like in my original plan, it was going to come out in July. But then I went ahead and did the octopus in the secret vlogs, and so I pulled Patreon members to say, which one do you guys want for July? Because I took a long break, I don't feel like I can comfortably do the octopus and the penguin, because I need to make sure I've got something for August because I took quite a long break. So I need to make sure I've got something for the Patreon people in August. So I can either do octopus in July or penguin in July. And so far, the majority are saying they want the octopus. So I think that kind of goes to show that sort of like watching watching it be designed, excitement building, like ready for the pattern to be released now. Like that's kind of what I'm feeling on that. So that is my plan, I believe. So thank you for asking that, Rachel. Good morning, Jeannie and Angela and Adele. Oh, nice. Caddy says she's almost finished her large octopus. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so just reading through all of these. Joseph says, yeah, I hardly ever rewatch the lives. I totally get that. I definitely get that. Jeannie says she watches replays. Froggy Day asks, did I do a sloth pattern? Yes. This is my sloth pattern. So this is Lydia. She's named after one of my, I don't know, named after a young lady who loves sloths and also likes my patterns. Yeah, her mom reached out to me and I sent her a birthday card. And I thought it would be just fun to name, she loves sloths. So I'll name the sloth after her. So yes. All right. Joe's Web says that's great because she wants to do the octopus now. All right. Let's see what else. Okay. Very nice. So Deborah's saying that she likes the idea of kind of staggering the videos so we can see the design and then make it. Charlotte's agreeing. That sounds good. Let's see. All right. Yeah, getting lots of people saying like, very nice, very nice. Great. Good morning, Miriam. Thank you. Rachel asks, am I still doing a skunk? That is still my plan. Yes. That's awesome. Yeah, Froggy Day Crochet is saying, yeah, I don't tend to rewatch the lives either. I definitely get that. Ooh, Jeannie's saying Bernat blanket yarn is on sale. And Froggy Day asks, do I have a link to my Patreon? I do. Let me pull that up for you really quick. Yeah. So that is what I've been up to. A lot of it has just been in my, like, a lot of thinking. All right, so here's the link to the Patreon for those who are interested. Let's see. Jackie says no almond blanket yarn in Ontario that I found. That is too bad. I'm really sorry. Tiff says new crocheter here. Love your crochet alongs. Helpful for us beginners. Did the chubby panda and just finished the bear about 10 minutes ago. Nice. That's awesome. Jeannie says in store it's buy one get one free, but online it's $5.49 a ball. Woohoo! Time to stock up. Actually, that was something I did do, even though I wasn't crocheting this last little bit that much. You guys know that, well, this is something I've talked about, how I'm not really a yarn hoarder typically, because like it almost gives me anxiety because it feels like the like once I buy the yarn that like the projects are like, come on, just make me already. And so I feel like a little bit of pressure if I have too much yarn. But like with all of the like the COVID-19 stuff and like a lot of yarn stores for a while were like running out of yarn or just didn't have it in supply because it wasn't an essential item, you know, things like that. It was a little bit like, okay, guys, this is not okay. I've got to have my yarn. So I bought a lot of yarn, which it's all in like bags, labeled what I think the project is going to be, and then shoved in the back of my closet. There is so much yarn. It's actually really exciting. And I had a lot of fun buying yarn. All right. All right. So, yep. So Jeannie is saying that Joann's online store, it's $5.49 a ball, which is fantastic. That's huge. So, all right. Charlotte asks, have I done a raccoon? I have not done a raccoon yet. Definitely want to. I want to make everything, basically. Yeah, I want to do everything, and someday I'll get everything done. Yeah. I'll put this sloth back here sitting down. There we go. Oh. All right, sorry, reading through the comments. Jo says she loves the octopus. She bought about 25 blanket yarn from Joann. Very nice. Nice. Yes, I love Joann's coupons. I agree. Virgie says, hi, Val, welcome back. Yes, bags of yarn is so exciting. Yes, I agree. In fact, when we had to clean out my closet to paint the ceiling, Rachel, my 3-year-old, helped me like clean out the closet, and she'd grab a bag and she'd be like, what is this one going to be? You know, it's just balls of yarn. And I'd be like, oh, it's going to be this or it's going to be that. And I made the mistake on one of them saying like, I think that one's going to be a unicorn. Because, you know, someday I want to make a full-sized unicorn. Once again, someday. I don't know when it'll happen. And so like every once in a while she'll be like, Mom, have you made the unicorn yet? No, I haven't made the unicorn yet. Or if I'm working on like anything else, you know, like if she caught me like working on this a little bit, but she's like, Mom, you're done with that. You need to go work on the unicorn. So yeah, it was pretty funny. And Caddy LaBelle says, I have a ridiculous amounts of brunette blanket yarn. I need many options for testing. Yes, indeed. Charlotte says, me too, Valerie. I want to do everything. I want to do all the animals. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Rachel saying specialty yarn works well for these animals too. Yeah, if you guys follow Rachel Greenhill, I believe she's Knitwit something. Maybe some numbers. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just Knitwit. On Instagram, she used the faux fur yarn to make the large panda, and it turned out so cute. So cute. Very nice. Chrissy says, now we will all be anxious for the unicorn. Yeah, I hesitated a little bit saying that. But I mean, I went to the store with a list being like, all right, I think I'm going to need this many balls of white, and I definitely want purple because purple is my favorite color, and I haven't used it in a single thing yet. A single animal. I mean, I should have made a purple hippo, but I made a blue one. I should have made a purple octopus, but I made a green one. I guess, okay, Knitwit 18, that's Rachel's. Anyway, so that's, yeah, got to make a purple haired unicorn. Anyway. Yes. Virgin says, that's how my daughter is. She reminds me to work on things, especially for her. So I have to stop telling her. Yep. Yep, exactly. Thank you, Angela. She said she just signed up for the Patreon. Woot woot. Thank you. That's awesome. Oh, a parrot would be good for colorful yarn. That's a great idea, Deborah. I love that. So, yep. And Jeannie, you Rachel also shared her her panda with the faux fur on the Old Soul Crochet Along page, I believe. So if you're a member of that, you could read, and it might take some scrolling, but I think you could find them there as well. Yeah. Christy says, my daughter is 21, wants an octopus in orange flamingo. Very nice. That would be pretty cool. Charisse says, do your patterns work the same using worsted weight yarn? I have a ton of worsted weight and can't afford the blanket yarn right now. Totally get it. But really want to make some of your patterns. Yes. So, Charisse, on that one, Rachel's agreeing here that it works. The only thing you need to consider is that if you're using medium weight yarn for the body, you're going to have to adjust anything that's made with like the finer weight yarn. So like for an example, we'll use Darcy Deer. If you want to like follow along with the crochet along, you can make all of it in medium weight yarn, but the eyes are already medium weight yarn. So if using medium weight yarn is going to make like the body, the ears, the head, the legs, the tail smaller. So you're going to have to adjust the eyes and make them smaller. You can either do that by using like a size 2 yarn, for like eyes, nose, and horns, or you could just use like safety eyes for safety eyes, safety nose, and then like not do the horns, just make it a doe, or go ahead and, I don't know, fudge it a little bit, or use a size 2. So that's the only thing to keep in mind is if you scale one yarn weight, you need to scale the rest of the yarn weight. But other than that, they work out just fine. All right. Angela says she just made a snail amigurumi. Nice. Froggy Day Crochet. Sorry, my throat got a little sore right there. 1 second. You said your name was Erica. I'll just start calling you Erica. Asks, have you done a squirrel? Asking for my son. I have not yet done a squirrel. The other day, though, Rachel and I were outside, and there was a squirrel in the walnut tree that just, like, kept coming closer and, like, chatting at us, then, like, running away and coming back. And I was like, I really should do a squirrel. They're pretty entertaining little critters. So, someday, I will get to all of them. My younger brother is visiting this weekend because it's my youngest brother's high school graduation. And he came up here and he kind of like saw all of this and he was like, I had no idea you'd made so many. I was like, yeah, I have a lot. I thought it was funny. Anyway, someday we'll get to all of the things. Carol asked, have I made a frog? Not yet, but someday I'll get to it. Erica says her son's name is Squirrel. Love it. So yeah, someday we will get to all of the things. We just haven't quite yet. Let's see, Rachel says she used to feed a squirrel on campus. That's cool. Very nice. That's awesome. Chrissy says she now makes 2 at a time so she can keep one. All right. So I think that's kind of what we have to talk about Yeah, we've gone over the few things I've been working on. Oh, actually, I've got one last thing to talk about. So with kind of this trying out the change in how I'm going to, like, when I'm posting videos, that means 1 month I have to be able to, like, get ahead, if that makes sense. And since I've had a crochet break, I was not getting ahead during the break. So my plan is for the month of July to just have the crochet along be the content that I put out. So there are 5 videos in the crochet along. The first video is materials. It'll come out the first, and then I think the remaining 4 weeks of July will just be, the next 4 Saturdays will be another one of the videos. I could still next week, well, probably won't. So next week, Saturday, is July 4th. I've got a feeling that it's going to be kind of a busier day for a lot of people, so I probably won't do a live chat next Saturday. But Wednesday, July 1st, materials video will come out. Then the 4th, 11th, 18th, 25th will be all of the different crochet along videos. And then during that month is when I'm going to try and get ahead. I will be sharing those videos as I make them with the Patreon supporters. And then August, they will start coming out for you guys. And my plan for during July is to get the chubby skunk and the black cat designed. So then I'll be able to, in August, those videos will come out for the majority of people, or, for YouTube. Patreon, they'll be coming out in July. And and that's how I'm going to try and get ahead and test out this new way of sharing content with you guys. So July might feel kind of like another month off because it's just going to be the crochet along. The octopus pattern will come out. And if you are a Patreon supporter and you haven't yet bought the Darcy Deer pattern, don't worry about it. It will be on Patreon as well. So those 2 patterns will be up, and then the crochet along will be going on YouTube for you guys to follow along with. So yeah, that is that. It's a lot of stuff, but I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Jeannie's saying Granny D is asking for squirrel buddies for her shelf. Love that. Virgie says she's excited to start Darcy and the Octopus. I love it. Very nice. Does it have a name yet? No, it doesn't. If you guys want to throw out name suggestions for the octopus, that'd be great. I'm not usually like the biggest fan of like O and O, like things that are essentially an alliteration. I like to maybe go with some of the other letters in the name, or like other hard sounds. Like, I don't know, like you could do like Tiffany octopus because it's got a kind of a hard T or something like that, or it's got like a pretty strong K sound, so you could do like Christine, like, anyway, just throwing that out. Anyway, hello Lisa. Hi Angie. Yeah, all right. Deborah asks, are most of the patterns 1 ball of yarn or more? So most, I would say kind of as a general rule, if it's a baby pattern or a chubby pattern, smaller than 1 ball. If it's one of the larger patterns, you're going to be really close to that 1 ball to 2 ball. The octopus is 2. Not 2 full balls, but like definitely 1.5, maybe a little like 1 3/4. On like the sloth, when it came to, whoops, my foam core fell over. When it came to like getting feedback from testers on this one, some people said they used just under 1 ball. Some people said they used over 1 ball, so they used 1.5 or something like that. So I try to kind of err on the side of more, because it's really frustrating when you buy, yeah, when you think you have all the materials and then you run out and you're not able to finish. So that's kind of what I do on that. So yeah. Christy says she's about to start the large elephant. Nice. That is a fun one. I want to make another one of those too, because I like them, and I've not been able to keep them in stock. I always end up giving them away. All my animals are just falling over, whatever, right? All right. So I think we have covered everything for now. So we're not going to plan on a live chat next Saturday because it's Independence Day here in the US, and I think people will be pretty busy. And July here on YouTube is just going to be the crochet along, which is Darcy Deer. And in the very first video, I'll kind of talk to you about, I go over a little bit more like if you want to use worsted weight yarn, if you want to make a doe or a buck or a fawn, you know, some different ideas and things like that. So that is that. All right. Well, I think we're going to call it a day, folks. Thank you so much for being on here and chatting with me, and for following along with the vlogs when I was on my break. It was good. I'm feeling much more rejuvenated, ready to start some new projects, try some new things. So I think that's good. I love that. Caddy LaBelle says Catherine Octopus because her name's actually Catherine. Love it. My best friend's name is Catherine too, so maybe we'll do that. Anyway, I will see you guys. Wow, August 1st actually probably will be the next like live chat. And if you guys are on Patreon, you'll see, well, as you know, the design is coming out. If you guys are just going to follow along here on YouTube, July is going to be Christmas in July. It's going to be great. I hope you guys are excited for that. And I hope you guys are well. Hope you're staying safe and well, and that everything is going great. And that if you have a chance, you can stock up on yarn because it's fun. Anyway, take care, you guys. See you later.